I spent 2 years getting to where I am now in my business, where I am making 12K a month, right? But I messed up so much along the way, and a lot of it came from immaturity and inexperience. So if this is you, like, definitely don't feel bad. Like, I don't feel bad about my journey at all. Like, I feel like the person that I've become is so much more wise and mature just having gone through those few tough years and being where I am now. But what I will say is the crazy thing now is I work less hours, but I just work on more important things that I know will actually bring me money. Whereas before, I would work these long hours on these things that just kept on not panning out. And this is coming from someone as well where I spent thousands of dollars on like coaching and guidance and all of these things, but I had a deep spiritual journey to go to. I had a lot of wounds, okay? So it's like when my business got better, every area of my life improved as well. So this was like a confidence journey, this was a spiritual journey, and it really affected every area of my life. So I want to walk you through if you're someone where you don't feel like your business is flowing, like you feel like it's hard. I mean, business is going to be hard, but it feels hard in the wrong way, like in a way where it's like, this just feels so wrong. There's no peace here. I want to quit. Like, I felt those things too. And it just requires alignment, right? Because when we feel alignment, hard work feels glamorized. It feels peaceful. It feels easy. It feels like God wants you there. The flip side, you are pushing, pushing, pushing this big rock uphill and it's not budging an inch. That's how I felt for 2 years straight. Okay? There are these little glimmers of things that would bring in enough for me to keep going, right? And I knew that it was more about the process than where I ended up. But when I say every area of my life got better, like I lost 55 pounds without really trying. My relationship got so much better once my business got better. And it wasn't because the business got better, it's because I got better. It's because I got mature. I got more self-controlled, right? And I still have a long way to go. Like, no one on the internet is perfect. But the reason why I share this with you is because I'm hoping you avoid some of my mistakes. So today we're going to go over what some of the mistakes I made were. If you want to go deeper into this after the video, I actually have a free course and I'll link it down in my description on how you can start your business, how you can lay some of the foundations that maybe I didn't set. You can also book a one-to-one call with me. The one-to-one calls, I can't lie, they're expensive. I just price them at what my time is with my actual clients. But I wanted to make that available for people who are interested. So one of the things that I did like a big mistake of last year is I loaned someone $20,000. And you might think, why would you do that? Well, they were in the construction business. I thought that their business idea sounded sound and they gave me some equity in the company, right? So it's basically just a risk that didn't pay off. I backed the wrong horse, right? But I didn't really wait long enough to see whether this was something worth investing in either. Like, I had this wound in me where I felt like I needed saving. And I still, I still don't want the number one responsibility. You ask me, do I want to be number one in a company? Hell no. I don't want that responsibility. I don't want to have to worry about a bunch of people's paychecks and lives relying on me at this point in my life. Like, maybe that will change at some point, but I am happy just supporting in companies. Like, you'll find me at 2 through 6 through a lot of companies, right? Like the companies that I work for, I'm number 2 through 6. And that's where I like it, where I have a decent amount of responsibility, where I'm helping a lot, but I'm not number 1. And so that's me. That's what makes me feel fulfilled as well. It doesn't fulfill me to be number 1. It doesn't give me an ego boost. I don't care about having control over the brand. I don't care about things being my idea or getting credit. That's just not really me. And so being that number 1, like nothing about it fulfills me. So being 2 through 6, I'm like, I love my life. This is awesome. The responsibility is not all on me, but I'm still contributing. I'm still working hard. But the problem is, before I had real discernment, I was very naive, right? And being naive isn't a good thing. You're not this innocent little lamb. You play the victim all the time. And so I backed the wrong horse, okay? And so that was my fault, but I learned a lot and I ended up with really good connections in the end. But definitely I wasn't strong enough in my boundaries. And I even saw that the year before where I was working with a mentor. When you first start your business, it's a little bit harder to have boundaries because you need experience. So of course, to get experience when you don't have experience, like, you have to work for free to a certain extent. Like, but I worked for free for too long, past the point where I was pretty good, and this person kept on promising to pay me. And this was someone taking in $400K a year just in their salary alone and the job that they were working, not to mention the $15K a month that they were getting per client in the agency, right? So this was someone who was just not paying me, and I just thought that it would come because they had money, but I didn't have boundaries. Now, when clients don't pay me, I will literally sit them down the day that it's due if I realize like, hey, I'm not going to get paid on time, right? If there's something off. Most of the time I get paid at the beginning of the month, so this isn't a problem. But the clients who I do get paid at the end of the month, if I realize the payment's not coming, I'm like, I'm so sorry if this payment isn't in tomorrow, if there's not proof sent, I'm not working tomorrow because I can't work without getting paid. That lands really well with people because it's obviously a very reasonable request. Yet for many of you, it's going to be hard to do. It's hard, especially when you're someone you're used to being meek, not meek, weak, for lack of a better term. Like, I was weak, and I didn't know how to stand up for myself. I didn't know how to carry myself, and I didn't know how to keep the bad things out and let the good things in. And that's the biggest difference that's happened in my business, where I allow the good things in and I'm better at keeping the bad things out. Now, I feel like I have a higher tolerance for a certain amount of BS than most people. I don't have it with the people that I work with, but I do have it to a certain extent for clients. Like, if you find someone who's like really angry, etc., like, I'll build systems around that so that way it doesn't hit me. But I'm pretty good at just staying calm, and so that normally diffuses the situation. So I have more tolerance for that than say some of my other friends. But still, it's that's something that I feel comfortable with. So like, you have to know what sort of difficulty God has given you the grace to be able to handle that other people cannot handle. But for me, like the same friend who can't handle an angry client also allows herself to get paid really, really late, right? Like, to the point where she's actually not getting paid by some clients because she let it go on too long. And so I know what I can handle. Like, I am okay with difficult clients, right? And like, alignment doesn't mean that everyone's going to be like perfect and hunky-dory all the time. Like, I still deal with difficult people, but I have the skill of navigating those people and staying calm. Now, what I do not have the tolerance for is late payments. I don't have the tolerance for genuine disrespect. Like, if someone starts to throw a fit, I'll collect them back. But let's say someone called me a name, I'd be like, I can't accept that. Like, I'm jumping off this call. I would just remove myself from the situation in a reasonable way. All of these things contribute to my clients respecting me, respecting my time, respecting my effort, and it leads to me respecting myself. And because I respect myself, I stopped wasting my time on the people who would future promise or over promise and under deliver, because I over deliver, but I was way over delivering. Like, I thought that I was proving my value by working for free. That's not how the world works. You have to charge for your time after a certain extent. Like Dan, who's someone who I worked with at the beginning of my career, I was like boundaried with him. Like, I said, hey, let's do 7 weeks free and then we can decide where it goes. And he ended up hiring me. He was my first client. He's amazing. But I also set those limits, right? And he respected them. So that's also to him, because I was just starting out. And if he had wanted like a few weeks extra free, I probably would have said yes, but he didn't do that. But that was something, it was like 7 weeks free. That really worked for me. And then just being like, hey, do you want to continue or not continue? And if it's a no, that's okay. You still got the experience. Just ask for a testimonial and move on. Again, I have the free course that I built just to help you beginners starting your business with a little bit of direction that I didn't have. Because there are so many complexities in business. I find most of it's like emotional and really just like who you are as a person. But there's obviously some logistic aspects too, which if you get those in place, then you're going to be rocking. Something else that hurt me was I wasn't consistent with the actions. Like I said, so I work less now, but I make more because I focus on the right areas. When I needed to grow, when I needed to bring in income, I focused only on the activities that were going to generate new revenue. So I made other videos about this, but I did three sales calls a week, 2 networking events a week, and I would get my sales calls from my networking events. And it wouldn't even be like hard sales, right? Like I would just be like getting a coffee with people, seeing who they could connect me to. And all of the magic, I followed the 12-week year. All the magic happened in week 13. Okay, so that's how long it really takes these seeds that you're planting to start working. But I hit a number, and I was like, I was really happy because I knew I stayed consistent, and I'd even say 100% consistent. My goal was 70% or more for a week, and I consider that, like, I was like, good job. I was very realistic with myself, but I was consistent, and it really paid off. Whereas before, I would just work as much as possible, but not on the right things, just trying to get things done, just like chasing the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, without just being consistent, without just being still and focusing on one goal. And that's made all the difference for me. So if you're looking to start your business, again, I have the course. If you're in your business and this resonates with you, make sure to like and subscribe. Again, feel free to ask me any questions in the comments as well. I do check them, because there's like, I'm a new channel, like I'm just sharing my experience and learning how to do the YouTube stuff. So I will see your comment if you leave a comment and you want to ask me a question. But wishing you the best. I'm rooting for you. If you are struggling, you are exactly where you need to be. I said that I was immature. You're probably immature, and that's okay. Like, I'm still a little bit immature. Like, this is a growth journey, and don't judge yourself for making mistakes, because that's something that I did. I felt shame and I felt embarrassed about the mistakes that I made, but they really made me who I am, and it takes really a lot to affect me now, and that's because of the things that I went through. So you're going to be fine. Love you, and I'll see you next time.